Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about the connection between photography and therapy, or how much photography can become a therapy. Before I went into minimalist long exposure photography, I was not so much involved in the way I was looking at the world around me. I was not so aware and then paying attention to what's surrounding me on a daily basis. Since I went into photography 15 years ago, then I started looking at things differently. I started focusing on what was surrounding me. I started enjoying being outdoors. I started enjoying getting out. I started enjoying not only the photography activity itself, but the entire experience itself. And this is what I'm going to talk about today in this video. So if you want to know more about it, stay tuned till the end of the video. Today I'm quite lucky for two reasons. First one is, normally there's always a barge sitting down there near the actual London Eye itself, which is not here today. And the second thing is, the London Eye itself is not active today, which means I can have a long exposure, which means I have a soft water, milky water, and having the eye itself stable and static and sharp. Whereas normally, because it's spinning all the time, even if this is a slow pace, you can't have a long exposure with a sharp London Eye itself, unless you do a composite picture. But today you don't have to do any of this because this is very stable. Always makes me happy when I find a spot I can shoot in different conditions than the usual conditions. That was the case today, just finding this little spot here, which I knew been here multiple times, but being able to photograph it under some different circumstances always make me happy. Whether you are into landscape photography, wildlife photography, portrait photography, it doesn't matter. It's not about the style of picture acting as a therapy. It's about photographing itself. The entire act of photographing or being outdoor, focusing on something else, something that gets your mind out of the normal stress, the routine, the stressful routine of the work, of a daily job, of a commute. That applies for all of this. Photography is often seen as a creative hobby, a way to capture moments and beautiful places. But for me, and many other photographers that I know, it's not only about that. It can act as a form of therapy. Photography pushes you to go outside, and just the act of being outdoor works as a mental health in itself. Spending time outdoors has been proven that it reduces stresses, lower anxiety, and improve mood. Natural light, fresh air, open space, landscape, seascape, all of this helps calm the nervous system. When you're outside, in the wild, you're not stuck in between four walls, scrolling or overthinking. You are moving, breathing, reconnecting with yourself and with nature. Photography makes you active. When you are photographing, your mind is focused on a task that makes you happy. You're looking for lights, shade, subjects, form, anything that would be of interest for the type of photography you're after. This kind of focus is very similar to mindfulness practices used in therapy. Mindfulness is about being fully present at the moment of the task, and photography forces you to do exactly this. The constant quest for interesting subjects pulls your attention away from daily stress. Deadline, worries, problems fade away in the background. Because your brain is busy observing, you start noticing details you would normally not pay attention to. Reflection, patterns, buildings, surrounding. This shift of attention helps you break the cycle of negative or anxious thoughts, which is a key goal in many therapeutic approaches. Then comes the moment when you find a subject, and that's where something powerful happens. a feel of small rush of adrenaline kicks in. That's the best part of the day. Start thinking about composition, framing, lighting, space, negative space. Your heart rate start increasing slightly and your senses sharpen. This is what happens when you fully engage in an activity that challenges us without overwhelming us. This is a psychological state often called flow. Flow is associated with increasing happiness, creativity, and reduces stress. And when you finally press the shutter and take the picture you were after, and you know you've nailed it, there's a deep sense of satisfaction. Your brain releases endorphins and dopamine, chemicals linked to the feeling of pleasure, reward, and motivation. And guess what? It's not so different from the feeling athletes always get after a good performance, or artists after finishing a piece of work. In a way, photography becomes a healthy, creative drug, one that makes you feel good without harming you. In therapy, many techniques aim to achieve the same result. Getting people out of their head, reconnecting them with the present moment, encouraging movement. It does not replace medical or psychological treatment when it's needed, of course, but it can be a powerful complementary tool, a form of self-therapy that's accessible, personal, and deeply rewarding. So next time you grab your camera, remember, you're not just taking photos, you're giving your mind space to breathe, your body a reason to move, and your brain a moment of genuine pleasure. And sometimes that's exactly what we need. Let me tell you a bit more about my own personal experience. A few years ago, when I started getting back into photography and learning how to look around me, it has completely changed my way of living. When I mean completely, it is completely. On a daily basis, I was starting to be curious about everything else that I was not looking at originally. Whether this was cityscape, buildings, architecture, patterns, anything I was interested in, I was curious. And then from there, I started shifting my way of life around photography. My trips were dedicated to photography. My holidays were dedicated to photography. My weekends were dedicated to photography. And all of this because I felt so much pleasure out of it. The spice of excitement of getting somewhere, finding a new subject to shoot, being able to shoot it the best way I could, trying to improve my technique, investing into new gears, new camera lenses and stuff like that, just because I wanted the best results possible. So all of this was a proper engine to my life, to work in a sense that I could make money so I can purchase those items to achieve the result I wanted to. Not because I wanted to get the best gear or whatever, just because I knew I wanted to achieve perfection, which is never the case. You never get there, and that's fine. That's part of the journey. Is making sure you always improve, you're getting better, you're looking at things differently, trying to be creative, trying to be out there, trying to be curious, and you will see this is paying back. As I said, this changed my entire life. I was not planning to be a full-time photographer before that, but then it turns out that life had different plans for me, and today that's where I am. After a couple of years of exhibiting my work, being part of some international photography awards, And realizing that I was capable of doing it was such a powerful feeling. Things I would never guess I would end up doing. So for those who are curious to learn more, if they need any assistance or if they need any courses or any advices, feel free to reach out and contact me. Feel free to leave a comment below in the description or just send me an email on my website. I will be very happy to respond to any of your questions or queries. There's a lot of workshops that I'm planning to run this year around the globe, so have a look at my workshop page on my website, and if there's any of them that you're interested in, just come along. You're very welcome. One of the reasons, I guess, why I got hooked by photography is I got a stage in my life that things were a bit boring. The routine place, going to work, eating at the same time, doing the same things, commuting through the same journey every day, starting to take a turn on me. So every time I had a bit of time, evening, after work, lunchtime, I was popping out of the building, trying to photograph some of the subject locally. And all of this was a good escape. So that was one of the main reasons I kept doing this again and again, and I was trying to be more and more involved and trying to develop my own style along the way. I've had no plan to do this full-time originally. It just happened. It just happened because life is full of surprises sometimes. But now I've got a new skill that I'm able to practice on a daily basis for my own pleasure and for professional purposes. So it's a win-win, really. There's nothing to lose in that. Thank you for staying till the end of this video, my friends. Really appreciate your support. And then don't forget, hit the little like button if you like that kind of content, and then press on the subscribe button. You know, this is totally free for you. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just that it's a big support for me, for my work, and all the time I spend doing these videos, times and researches. So it's much appreciated if you guys click on the subscribe button. And then if you want to get notification, there's a little bell button next to it that's going to allow you to get notification every time I come out with a new video.